Skillset here with another video on GitHub and SSH keys. Today I'm going to attempt to clone down a repo that is within my GitHub account by first creating my SSH key pair and uploading my public SSH key to my GitHub account. So this is a very simple concept that a lot of DevOps systems engineers should have an understanding of these days. And it all starts with this command where you're trying to clone down a repo or copy across a repo from the GitHub server to your local machine, and that's done with this git clone command. And when that is executed, what happens is an SSH session is established from your local machine to the GitHub server, and for that to happen, first of all, you should have an SSH key pair created, and you should have already copied across the contents of your public SSH key onto the GitHub server. And what really happens in the background is it actually gets copied to within this authorized keys file within the GitHub server, and that should allow you to actually establish an SSH session and copy across any data from the GitHub server. So let's quickly get into the demo. Now, first of all, for you to follow along, you will need a GitHub account, and you would also need a GitHub repo. To create a GitHub account, it's quite easy. All you need to do is a unique username, and you need to have your email account, and you'll be able to go onto github.com and follow the sign-up steps to create your user account. Once you log in, you can create your first new repo. I'm going to click this new repo button, and that's going to ask me a name for the new repo. So I'm going to call it SSH test underscore skillset, just to make it unique. I'm going to keep it as it is, public, because there's nothing really important in there as of yet. I'm going to let it initialize with a readme file as well by clicking this tick here. So that's going to create the repository. Wait for a few seconds and it should be done. The first thing now you want to do in order to work and commit code onto this repository is clone down this repo onto your local machine. And to do that, you need to ask GitHub, as kindly reminded us here, to use SSH. We need to have our public SSH key uploaded into our GitHub account. So right now, this command or this git clone command here should not run properly. So if we go to our terminal, just check I'm in the right place. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna try and attempt to git clone using that command I copied across. So that's gonna try and create a SSH session and copy across the contents of this git repo. Let's see if that works. So right away we see an issue here, and it's a SSH related issue. It's saying permission denied and public key. That just means we do not have a public key uploaded to our GitHub account. So in order to upload it into that account, we need to actually first create an SSH key pair. And usually you can find all your key pairs if you go onto your home folder and just type in ls or ls-l just to get the .sh, the contents inside the .sh folder. You can go in there and see what we have currently. I've already created some SSH key pairs, so I'm going to go ahead and delete these two files so that I can create it fresh. Okay, cool. And the way to create those SSH keys is SSH key pair or keygen -i-t RSA. The -t RSA means just the type of encryption you're willing to use. There's DSA and RSA. You can read more about it if you're interested. So this right away tells you that it's going to store your SSH keys in the default location, which is within your user home folder within the .sh directory. And it's going to ask for a passphrase to be extra secure, but I'm just going to hit enter and not enter any passphrase because this is for test purposes. And there you go. It should have now, if you list everything, it should now again have two new files. One is the private key, the other one with a .pub extension at the end is the public key, and that's what you need to actually upload in copy across to your GitHub account. So I will cat the contents of that public key, and there you go. Copy that contents and come over back to my GitHub account. And so as you remember, there was this message saying we're missing a public key in order for us to clone this repo down. So I'll just click that link right away, and it will take me to a place where I'm able to upload my public key. So just create any title you want. Usually the username of the user where you created the SSH key pair is a great thing to go by, and then copy the contents of that public key and simply click add. Oh, and it's going to ask you your password again, just a password of the GitHub account, just to be extra secure. So once that's done, you should see something like this, where now your SSH key has been uploaded and you're ready to go. So we'll come back to now the repo that I was working with, which was SSH test skillset. Here we should be now able to copy this command again with this button here, and come back to our terminal. Come back to the right directory that you will want to place your code in. So right now I'm in my .sh directory. This is not where I want to place my code, so I'm going to go to that place where I'm going to have all my repos stored. So this is the place I wanted to store, so I'm right in that location. And now I'm going to run that git clone command again. As you remember, if we scroll up, that command failed earlier. So up here it failed with the message saying permission denied, public key. That just meant obviously our public key is missing. So when we run that command again now, which is just like that, we should be able to successfully now clone across the repo. And there we go. Now if you list what's in this folder, you'd see, great, we have a folder named SSH test skillset. And just to even test things further, let's see if we can git push by first going on to this repo folder, creating a new file, just a file for us to test with. So test.file, I'm gonna just use the touch command. And now if we run a git status here, we should be able to add this file to our version control and then commit with a commit message. In this case, I'm going to call it my first commit. And I'm going to call it my first commit and exit out of there and do a git push, at which stage we should be able to again push back to our repo on the GitHub server. So if we come back here now and refresh, we should be able to see the test.file in this version controlled environment already uploaded. And that's pretty much how you do cloning and pushing with Git to github.com using SSH and using SSH keys. Thank you, and we'll see you again soon with another video.